swimming into your DMs, we got a Fishy's deck profile. Alright guys, now with this deck, Mannequin Cat has finally come out. So one card I've been waiting a lot for this deck because it makes it a little bit easier, especially with there's a lot of level 2s in the deck, especially the nimble monsters. And, you know, just to get your plays off a lot easier, you get the big fish out a lot easier. So just updated the deck a little bit, tweaked some cards here and there from the last profile that we've had. And let's get right into it. So starting off with the main deck, of course, we're going to run frogs because frogs are level 2 and water and they're kind of broken. So we're going to play 3 swap frog. We're going to play 2 dupes and 2 Ronin totems. Swap frog is really good because you start dumping the Ronin totem and things like that. You can get rid of, if you have extra water monsters you want in the graveyard, you could discard them and then, you know, just have them in there. And yeah, you know, it's pretty good. You always want to see it in your hand at least, especially swap frog. Even if you just normal summon it, it's already really good. Into the next cards, we're gonna go into the nimble cards. We run 3 beaver because it's kind of like a deep sea diva special summons one from the deck or graveyard. So you always want to see in your opening hand as well. 3 sunfish is for targets, and another broken nimble is the 3 angler. Yeah, just you want to summon the beaver, get the sunfish, and then go from there. And it's an easy rank 2, especially with the Mannequin Cat, just a generic exceed. So you just want to see it as fast as possible. All right, now to the next part of the deck. Run a little bit of Mermails in this deck. We run 2 Teus. And 1 Dine. So the Dine is there because if you search it, you can summon it straight from your hand. So that's two special monsters already. So if you can't see the Mannequin Cat first turn, you can at least try to go for a Saryuja play and then try to see if you can draw the big fish. That's the other play you can do as well. And then for other monsters besides the Mermails, I play 1 Diva and 2 heavy infantry. So the only reason I put these cards in the deck is because they're level 2, and like I said, just if you don't have the nimbles in the deck, you could at least, if you have this in your hand, you can at least summon the heavy infantry from your deck. So why not? So just another way to get an access to Mannequin Cat. All right, now for the main monster you want to summon in this deck and resolve is the super ancient deep sea king, whatever his name is. He has a really long name. Just call him Big Fish. And yeah, he's just really good. You just discard a card and just summon all the fish you can from the deck. Ideally, you want to summon the Oystermeisters and like either the Fishborg Launcher or Blaster from the deck. And he just goes, you know, linking from there. And for the other broken fish deck is Oystermeister. So whenever it leaves the field, except by battle, it gets summoned as a token. So it's just easier to get into like nightmare monsters and things like that. So that's why it's in the deck. Usually your target for the big fish. And then now with the Mannequin Cat, if you go second, you would want to go with Gamma Seal. That way you can use the Mannequin Cat effect. If you're going first, you would want to summon the Silent Wabi to your opponent's side of the field. That way you can get its effect off. So right now I only have 2 Gamma Seal and 3 Wabi. So like I said, the 3 Wabis there if you're going first. If you're going second, if you have a Gamma Seal, that's good because then you could just kaiju their one of their monsters, and then if you have the Mannequin Cat already, you activate its effect. So that's usually the easier way. So I mean, you could definitely bump up the Gamma Seal up to 3, but right now I only have 2, so that's why it's only 2 in the deck. But it's really good, especially if you're going second. On to the next. So it's just the rest of the monsters, like the 1-ofs. So like I have 1 Silent Angler, 1 Fishborg Launcher, 1 Planter, 1 White Stingray, and 1 Rosenix. So the Angler, I used to have it at 3, but then I bumped it down to 2, and then now it's at 1. Its effect to summon from hand is really good, but the only thing is I don't like the restriction that you can't special summon from your hand. So like if you do use this effect, you can't summon from your hand anymore, and like let's say if you summon a Saryuja or something, you can't use this effect, or if you have an effect that lets you summon from the hand, you can't do it anymore. So that's why I kind of bumped it down. So yeah, and then 2 more 2 Fishborgs. Usually I summon the Launcher from the Big Fish effect, but I do like the Planter better because in case you don't have, if you already like linked away with the Mannequin Cat to light, Launcher's effect is kind of dead. So I like summoning the Planter in case you do the Mannequin Cat play. because that way you can still summon it off from the graveyard for extra link fodder. White Stringer is good because kind of like an Abyss Teus, you just summon it from your hand by discarding water monsters, so it's just a free summon. And Resonance is good if you're able to get into the graveyard because you could banish it and you summon a token, a level 1 token. So it's good for the if you're trying to get to the extra link, or if you just need another link fodder. And of course, this fish deck is a Seconds Light version, so we run 3 Seconds Light. This card is really good. You just draw 2 cards, and yeah, and then you can fix your hand by banishing it and putting something back. Like let's say if you have a monster in your hand you don't need at that point, or like let's say you draw an Oystermeister by chance, banish the Seconds Light, put it back in your deck. Hopefully you don't draw it again. So that's why I like Seconds Light in the deck. All right, guys, and now into the extra deck. And of course, the one monster we're gonna run is the Mannequin Cat. Mannequin Cat you just need one of, because once you resolve it once, kind of good from there. So, and then you usually want to leave the space for all your link monsters and stuff. So just one's okay. And then obviously, because we run all well, water, but you have the the frogs accessible, totally awesome. Why would you not run totally awesome? That's all I have to say. And then now onto the links. So for your link 1, one link Rebo, like I said, with the Resonance, you can at least get there with the extra link, or sometimes you have nothing else, you just go into link Rebo. But link Rebo is good just because, especially if you do the extra link, you don't give your opponent a link marker, so that's why he's good. Now for the link 2, so we do have one on the Clock Taker. Like I said, you want to have it up there just to point down, and then you can start doing your either U-link or extra link or whatever. And also if you're, let's say if you are going second, you want to like OTK your opponent, this effect's really good as well. One Security Dragon, so this one, it's a good card. The only thing I don't like about it is that it does give a link point to your opponent, especially if you're going first. You want to give them that extra link marker. But like let's say if you're going second, it's really good because you can bounce something back as long as you have it linked, so why not? One Miss Starboy, of course, because everything's water in the deck, and maybe if you can't do the extra link or U-link or whatever, you could at least power up all your monsters. Especially a 2700 Toad. Something that could be a little bit too much, but I don't know why, I always find myself just running 3 of these, is the 3 Proxy Dragons. So the Proxy Dragons are here because, especially when you go into, when you have the Oystermeisters out, sometimes you don't want to, especially with the tokens, since they're normal monsters, you can't go into some other monsters because you need effect monsters. So that's why I like running the Proxy Dragon, because you kind of need them in the middle, and as a way to get the Tri-Gate Wizard. So that's why I run 3, just in case if like you have to go, sometimes you might have to waste your resources to get to the Tri-Gate. So that's why I run the 3, because you might need them all 3 in the turn. But it's just good because you can at least have them in the middle, and just because you need the sides. And also just because you need to be an effect monster for Tri-Gate Wizard. And now for the other links, we run a Nightmare package, of course. We run 1 Unicorn, 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix. These cards, you see them in any link deck, especially with the U-link like this, with the Tri-Gate, and then something else on top. And then Unicorn, probably something on your second turn, especially if you want to get rid of something. So, yeah, those cards are, pretty good. And obviously the 1 Tri-Gate Wizard, it's probably not the most optimal. I mean, nowadays not probably the most optimal play to have Tri-Gate linked to 3 things, but I still think it's a good card. So why not run this card? It's an extra negate on the field, and it banishes the card, which is really important sometimes. And for your last links, we run 1 Borlo, 1 Skull Dread. Obviously, Borlo can be substituted for a Boral Sword. But I just like them there because you can kind of control the field sometimes. And then Saryuja, obviously, because Saryuja is broken. So you could maybe do a double Saryuja in this deck, something you could think about, but just resolving 1 is good enough. And another card actually I've been thinking about, so that's 15 cards in the extra deck, but one card that came out recently that could be really good is a new Marincess Coral, Anemone, I think that's how you call it. It's really good because it just requires water monsters, and it summons back a water from your graveyard. So usually I would think you would want to summon Swap Frog, because then you get an extra sent to the graveyard, and then it's just basically an easy link 3. So it's a good card. So it can be something you could run in your fish deck as well. But that's it for the deck profile, you guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know down below what you think about the deck, any suggestions, any spicy techs you run in your deck. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We do have a new sponsorship affiliate link to TCG Player. Whenever you're building a deck, use that link and it'll help support the channel. And thanks for watching and have a good one.